What's different about number one type of factoring? So we've got some different types of factoring today. What's different about number one? Well, what would we do to factor it? We can't do any factoring with a common factor, can we? And we couldn't do, if we do the x, we got something different about this. What's different about this? There's a 3 in the front. Who just said that? Did you just say that? Keep going. So there's a 3 in the front. And so that means when we can't use the x the way we did before. So there's a number of ways that we can do this. I'm just going to start with talking about it. I don't care what method you use. I'll show you in a little bit what method I prefer. So we need to, these two terms here have to multiply by to give us 3b squared. So one would be b, what would the other one be? 3b. And then we're looking at things that multiply to give you 50. There's a number of numbers, like 25 and 2. There's 5 and 10. So we could try, say, 25 and 2 plus 25 minus 2. And then we could check. Okay, so this is called guess and check. So we already know this times this gives us the 3b squared. We know the 25 times negative 2 gives us negative 50. So we are going to check. This would give us negative 2b, and this would give us 75b. That gives us 73b. It does not give us the negative 5b that we wanted to give us. So what if we change our signs? What do you think would happen if we change the sign? Say this one, the b minus 25, and 3b plus 2. Yeah, because if we change the signs, then it's just going to change the sign on the answer. So this could be a lot of guessing and checking. And if you like this method, you are welcome to use it. So I'm going to show you a different method. So we're going to use the x again, but for the top number, we're going to take the 3 times negative 50. So we're always going to take this coefficient in the front and multiply it by this number here. So this is a negative 150 here. And then again, just like we had before, negative 5 down here. So good, negative 15 and 10. So we would get b minus 15, b plus 10. And then if we looked at that, we multiply it out, it doesn't quite give us this here, does it? B times b gives us b squared, not 3b squared. So with this method, since we multiplied by 3, this doesn't give us 50, it gives us 150. So we have to divide out that 3 that we multiplied by on both of them with this method. So what's 15 divided by 3? 5. And then 10 does not divide by 3, does it? So we can take the 3 and slide it to the front of the b. So it's 3b plus 10. And that's our answer. That's what works there. So this comes from factoring by grouping. Again, if you have a different method that your teacher taught you when you did that factoring and you like that better, I don't care. I don't care what method you use. This one's pretty direct, so I like that about it, but whatever you want to use. Okay, let's do another one. So how do I start this one? What number goes up on the top? So we have to take the negative 8 times 2 because of the 2 here. And so then that's going to be negative 16. And then what goes down here? Negative 15 from here. And then what multiplies to negative 16 that adds to negative 15? Yeah, what is it? This is 16 negative 1. That's right. So don't forget 1. Really easy to forget to try 1. So negative 16 and 1 works here. So now we're going to write our two factors. A minus 16, A plus 1. So then what's my next step? Divide by 2. We're going to divide by the 2 because I multiplied by 2 here to make that x work. That's all that did, is it just made my x work, just like it did yesterday. So this divides out evenly, so I get a minus 8. And then what do I do with the 2? Slide it. So I slide it to the front of a, to a plus 1. So some of my students in my other classes were using the box. That's what they use. That's fine. I don't care if you did that. Some of them were using something like this. It was a little bit modified from this. I don't think I had anybody use guess effect, but it's possible they did. Okay, so let's do one more. What number goes up on the top here? 7 times 8, or 56. So multiplies to 56 and adds to 30. Sometimes it takes some time to think about it. Numbers aren't necessarily, one of them small. JJ got this. Anybody else? Yes, Derek? Yes, 28 and 2. So what was your thinking, Derek, when you were thinking about that? Did you just think 2 goes into 56, so I'm going to try that? Yeah, okay. So you just take 56 divided by 2, got 28, and realize that adds to 30. So my next step here, what's my next step here? Before you divide, you want to put k plus 28, k plus 2, and then we divide by 7. And this gives us k plus 4, and we do what with the 7? Slide it. We're going to slide this to the front of the k, 7k plus 2. Okay, on your own, go ahead and do number 4 as a U try. On your paper or on your desk. I don't care which one you.
I'm waiting. I would be hella sad too if my team was going to say. I'm going to make class. What? I'm making class. Not making the class. I hope you do though. So that'd be free. Yeah, you're fine. You're going to use training. You get it all up. Let's let me finish. Nice 8 and 2 people. Oh my god. I need 3 people plus 1. I know, I don't know. I don't do that. I want some money to my team. Oh yeah. Like that, that's correct. No. You missed a step. You got to have that middle step. You want one? Ryan found this from someone else. Alexander Madison. Did you Alexander Madison every time? Yeah, for Brian Thomas.
Look at it's 18.
He's not crazy right now, I think.
That's a zero. Just no.
I'm not saying Kyrie Jones. I want to see you guys first.
You're just something like that.
Okay, so you should have gotten this answer. Questions on that before we move on to the next one?
But I don't want it.
Because there's an 8
I've never seen it.
and I did the wrong.
Okay, so this one here, number 5, we want to, when we're doing these ones on your assignment, you want to always see if there's a greatest common factor. Is there a greatest common factor?
In this one, 6. It's actually 6 ends.
Is there anything that goes into all of these?
Yeah, 6 ends.
6n, good. So we're going to factor out the 6n first. And so then we get how many more n's to get to n to the third? N squared. And then 120 divided by 6 would be 20. N. And then what goes here? Negative 1. Good. So we would look to see if we could do the x, if there's anything that would multiply to give us negative 1 that adds to 20. Is there?
Oh, wait,
Something that multiplies to negative 1 that adds to 20.
Yeah.
So this is as far as we go on this one. That's it. Can we get a factor on number 6? Is there a common factor?
No.
There's a common factor. What is it? I want you to tell me what's a factor that goes into both of those. We have a common factor that we need to factor out first. What would that be? Three. So what's left? Take 48 divided by 3, that's 16n squared. 75 divided by 3. I need you guys to just hold on just a little bit longer. And this would be 25. So now how do we factor that? I had some of these yesterday. Right, those are perfect squares. That's right. So you can take the square root of each one of them. So what's the square root of 16n squared? 4n. So we're going to put 4n and 4n. What's the square root of 25? 5. And so what would I put in my signs? Plus and minus. So that's the difference of 2 squares there. Okay, number 7 looks hard, but it's not as hard as it looks. Temporarily, just ignore the y's altogether. So no coefficient in front of x squared. So we look at what multiplies to negative 12 that adds to 4. What numbers work there? What multiplies to negative 12 that adds to 4? Somebody here. What multiplies to negative 12 that adds to 4? Yeah, what are the signs? Good, negative 2. So we would get x plus 6, x minus 2, and then we need this to be 12y squared. So what could I put there and there? Make it 12y squared. Just a y. A y on each one. And that's it. So that's how you get that y squared there. We don't do that very often, but sometimes. Okay, last 2. So can we factor anything out here? Any common factor?
No.
No. So we're going to go to the x. And so what goes on the top? 9 times negative 10, because there's a coefficient in the front. So negative 90. You don't have to write these two multiplied together. I just always write everything there. Let me write that 90 clearer. Negative 90 and then negative 9. Number 12.
Yeah, actually 5 and 14.
What did he say?
Talking to him because he said 10.
Yes, Sarah. Good. So on this one is hard. So did you just start trying some numbers that went into 90 that you knew about? Is that what you were doing? Derek, did you try some numbers that might go into 90? Yeah, good. Yeah, so he was trying some numbers that went into 90, and then he found out that 15 and 6, so we made it a negative 15 and 6. So we have n minus 15, n plus 6, and then what would I do back there in that group? What would we do next to finish it off? So we had to multiply 9 times negative 10 to get negative 90. So what do we do with the 9? You're going to divide by 9. So unfortunately, once in a while this happens. It doesn't divide out of either one of them, does it? But both of them, are they simplified?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can simplify.
We can simplify them. So that's what we have to do, is we have to simplify. So we're going to simplify and slide here. So 15 over 9 simplifies to 5 over 3. 6 over 9 simplifies to 2 over 3. And you may need to do this on the side. So then now we're going to slide. So it's going to be 3n minus 5 and 3n plus 2. Okay.
I don't like this problem.
I know.